Big Boss, Stay Blessed, this is your boy Black Finesse. We're here to watch ericrayweather's viewpoint on the college football 25. Y'all are really convincing me to get this game, bro. But not really to play it, but to do this roster. Like, there's gonna be some powerhouses in like almost every team, bro. For example, the Miami U is probably gonna be the most overpowered because you know these big name schools, all these big name people that went to these big name, bro, like Ohio State, Alabama, the Miami U, Florida Gators, Georgia. Like, Brady came from Michigan, so I mean, I'm not sure if Michigan has really put much powerhouses, but hey man, this is oof.
Take a look at the player likeness and all of the equipment that you can put on your
this
players in college football 25. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network because they did allow me to capture this early footage, and I was on an earlier build of the game, so it is technically a work in progress.
They got the little bendy socks.
If you're new to
now.
the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn the bell icon on because I have more exclusive content coming for this game that you're not going to want to miss. So first, let's just look at some of the bigger name players and what they look like in the game. Now keep in mind that EA did not face scan these players because you can't face scan 11,000 players. You would just never get them all. So they used pictures and
those
used
abilities
AI
got
to
slider
generate
hand,
faces
step
that
up,
look pretty similar. And here is
dot,
Shador
and
Sanders,
pull
for
down.
example. Looks pretty close to how he looks in real life. And also take note of the player card. You can look at the overview of the player. You can tab over and look at ratings. You can look at their mental abilities. You can look at their physical abilities. You can look at their wear and tear. You can monitor all of this from their player card. Also,
the ratings are a little hard
these
though.
Players inside of Dynasty mode, so the ratings could be a little off because ratings do tend to change when you jump into a Dynasty mode.
I don't know if the ratings aren't based on numbers
anymore.
anymore.
Here is Carson Beck, the other top-rated quarterback in the game. Looks pretty similar to how he looks in real life. Next up, we've got Quinn Ewers, the cover athlete guy, and he's looking pretty solid as well. We've got a look here at Dylan Gabriel from the Oregon Ducks, their quarterback, one of the best.
Did I miss the second one? Who was the second one?
Backs in the game. Got some wheels on him too. He can move. Speaking of wheels, here's Jalen Daniels of Kansas. This guy is absolutely electric in this game. He is so fast.
Is it Jaden Daniels who's on the Commanders?
Another electric guy, Jalen Milroe of the Alabama Crimson Tide. One of the best QBs to use in this game. He is so fast. He's hard to tackle. He can make all the plays. Another guy that's pretty fast himself, Jackson Dart from the Ole Miss Rebels. And I love the Ole Miss.
I gotta watch more football, man.
Moving along here, up next we have the Penn State quarterback, Drew Aller. We're gonna look at a few quarterbacks because they are the most notable players. Up next is the Sooners quarterback, Jackson Arnold. His looks pretty spot on in my opinion. And of course, you know, we had to check out Arch Manning. He looks spot on. He just
Arch Manning, is that Peyton Manning or Eli Manning's kid or something?
Up next, we've got Quinshawn Judkins of Ohio State, one of the best running backs in the game. This guy is an absolute tank. Up next here, we've got Jaden Ott from Cal, and this guy is one of the best running backs in the game. He is super shifty. Somebody went to Cal. Of course, we got to look at Donovan Edwards, the other cover athlete. His looks pretty good as well, and he is also one of the best running backs in this game with a ton of abilities. Of course, we have to look at the third cover athlete, Travis Hunter, the two-way player. He's an absolute beast in this game, and his face looks really spot on. Up next here, we've got T-Mac out of Arizona, one of the best receivers in the game. This guy is a beast in this game. You're definitely going to want to check him out on Arizona. Speaking of good wide receivers, the guy who I think is the best in college football, Luther Burden from Mizzou. This dude can do it all. And of course, you can't talk wide receivers without talking about Ohio State. We've got to look at Ibuka here, who looks really good as well. Here's a quick look at Torrey Horton out of Colorado State, another top receiver in the game. Let's move over to tight ends now. We've got Colston Loveland.
Y'all really make me want to do this roster. Just get a game, just do the roster, just to see how it looks.
In the game, Will Campbell out of LSU, looking pretty spot on. Here's a look at the best edge rusher in college football, the highest rated edge rusher in the game, James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. We've got the best defensive tackle in the game, Mason Graham out of Michigan. And Michigan has another top player at their position, cornerback Will Johnson. This guy is absolutely shut down. And here we have another top cornerback in the game. We've got Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. Let's move on to some safeties really quickly. We've got Malachi Starks, the highest rated safety in the game out of Georgia. And then we've got Caleb Downs. He's 95 overall, and he's just a sophomore out of Ohio State. But this guy is a beast in this game. Bro. Now let's move on to the equipment. So we're going to take a look at the helmets first. We've got the Schutt F7. We're going to have the Riddle Speed.
So this is pretty much the same as Madden,
you would mostly expect to be in the game are here. We've got the Riddle Axiom helmet. That's my favorite. We've got the Riddle Revolution helmet. Up next, we have the Vices 01 helmet. Now taking a look at the Schutt Air Advantage helmet right here. Moving on to the Zenith X2E helmet, just giving you kind of a full 360 look. We have the Zenith Shadow. This is another one of my favorite helmets. We got the Vices 02, which is a pretty popular helmet. Not my favorite, but a lot of people do wear it. We got the Revolution Speed helmet, the Vengeance Z10 helmet right here. just doing a little 360, trying to give you the full look. We've got the kind of old school Riddell helmet. No one really wears that anymore. We've got the Visus 02 Trench, another one of the craziest looking helmets.
Crazy looking.
Awesome. We got
it
the
don't
old
look dope.
school Riddell here, the old kicker helmet. Probably not going to use that one. We got the Zenith Epic helmet, and we've got the Shut Air XP Pro in the game as well. Next up, we have the face masks. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one because it would just make this video way too long. There's over 150
there is
face
like a lot of face masks. 150 face masks.
Most of the ones you would want, I'm pretty sure, are going to be here. I'm not saying they have every single last one that's ever existed, but they've got a bunch of them to fit their respective helmets. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find most of the ones that you want. Take a look at the visors here. We have the regular dark visor, the regular smoke visor, and the regular clear visor. We also have the Oakley dark visor, which is my favorite. We've got the Oakley prism, which is another good one.
I'm not a fan of the Oakley prism for some reason.
And we're gonna have
I just like the lighter. I just like the clear dark one.
Nothing crazy with the mouthpieces, just the regular pacifiers in the white, black, and team colors that you can equip. Now we're going to look at the eye paint and stuff like that. They've got the same ones they've had in Madden, if you're familiar with those. The single strip, the nose strip, the crosses, the full face paint. You know, you kind of have a few different versions of it, kind of the most typical ones that you see people wear. So all of those are here in the game. Just going to scroll through them so you can see. But if you have played Madden recently, you should be familiar because this is the same as they have in that game. Moving on to the arm equipment. So we have the half sleeve. We got it in black, white. You can also get it in the different team colors as well. For the bottom half.
Speaking of Oregon,
then we've got
didn't Anthony Thomas play for Oregon? What happened to him, bro?
In white and black.
Why the Chiefs do him so dirty?
For every school, so
where is he at now?
Colors, those are the colors.
He played like what, 2-3 years?
The baggy arm sleeves
just disappeared on us.
You're gonna have white, black. And you're going to have the team colors for those baggy arm sleeves, which a lot of people like wearing those now because they kind of look the coolest. You're also going to have the regular full arm sleeves in white, black, and in the team colors. They're just a little less baggy than the other ones. We've also got the undershirt at the top. You can get this, of course, in the team colors and in black and white. So just scrolling through these so you can see the different options you have. You've also got the quarter arm sleeve as well, so you know you got a bunch of different options.
So it look like a lot of these are pretty much the same as
different sleeve variations. You've of course got the
because it is made by EA. It's just
tape that just kind of covers the elbow and some of the arm like this. You can get this in the team color.
I love
as well.
turf tape.
Then of course you have full arm
it was
tape
harder to
as well.
find
this
when I was in high school.
This is the one I think most people usually like to wear. And again, you can get that in your team colors, black and white. Pretty much for anything that goes on the arms and the legs and stuff like that, you kind of get those color variations. Now we have the sweatband on the forearm. Going to be the same thing with this. Colors are pretty much going to be the same across the board. Just depending on the team, it's going to switch it up. You also have the thin armband as well that you can equip for your players right around the elbow. Kind of looks like this. Then you have the really thin sweatband that goes above the elbow. So we're just scrolling through that so you can see the different versions of it. We also have the elbow pads. You got some with stripes, some that are just plain colors like this. These you could see. Got the team color one. Got the team color with
I don't really think it's going to be that hard to do the roster because all I got to do is look at the teams and then type in, you know, the list of like legendary players who play for the team.
Moving on to the wrist now.
But like I said, the process is going to take months to do because there's like a lot of players. Like even in Madden, there's like over 1,000 people, like over 2,000 players, 1,000 to 2,000 players that I did.
The double wristband
to do it in 3 months.
Kind of like that look.
32 teams.
The options for the double wristband.
I don't think it's about 1,000. It's a good number.
Show you the options here that you can use. Then you've got the wrist tape, which looks pretty much exactly like the regular wristband. So I don't know, it's kind of the same.
Sometimes it's about like what,
the
53
double wrist tape
people
here, which is just a little bit higher up, but again, kind of looks very similar to just the regular wristband. In my opinion,
the maximum is 53 people, but sometimes it's more than that.
And the wrist. You've got the really low wrist tape that just barely sticks out of the glove as well. So just showing you the different options that you have available to you. I know some of you, probably haven't played a football game in a while. Some of you are just returning this year, so you might not be familiar with these things.
Yeah, because a lot of people stop playing when they drop NCAA.
Players, usually it's just going to be on a quarterback, though. Now we're moving on to the gloves. So one thing you need to keep in mind when it comes to things like gloves, cleats, and socks in this game, the team that you play for is going to determine what brand of gloves, cleats, and socks that you will have. So if you're a Nike team, you're going to have access to the Nike stuff only. If you're an Adidas team, you're going to have Adidas, Jordan, Under Armour, same thing.
Sense.
Whereas like in the NFL, typically players just kind of wear whatever, but in college more so, you're going to wear the brand
if they're
that
sponsored
the team
by
is sponsored by. So with Clemson right here, they're a Nike team, so we're scrolling through the Nike gloves. Now also keep in mind, Nike is going to have the most options for you. So if you're creating your own player, for example, like Road to Glory, and you like Nike, you may want to pick a team that is a Nike team, because as you can see here, it's going to take us a while to get through all these gloves. Nike by far has the most gloves.
I wonder if they have like looser jerseys and stuff.
They've got some nice ones.
I don't know if we've seen that
already. But they
don't
have even like half the amount that Nike has. Nike just by, default kind of has more options. Now that doesn't mean that they're not going to add more options as well, because in Madden they do equipment updates sometimes multiple times a year. So whatever we have in the game now is probably not what we're going to end with. We're probably going to wind up with more equipment in the game during updates, so we could get some more here. But as you can see, Nike is definitely just going to have the most options, and just like the other equipment, it's going to be the same: white, black, and you're going to have your team colors as well. You're going to have, multiple color ones depending on the design. You also have the finger tape here, which you may see as I'm scrolling through if you want to just do a finger tape look. They also have just kind of generic gloves as well, which are just solid color gloves, kind of similar to the cutter gloves. As you can see here, the all white. You've got like that in all white or all black or whatever your team color is.
So I'm guessing the Clemson secondary colors is just white, so just orange and white. I thought they had secondary colors was blue.
They kind of just wear the plain color. That's the look they like to go for. So you could do that in this game as well. You don't have to wear one of the branded ones. No matter what team you play for, you'll still have access, like the all orange one right there. You'll have access to the player exclusive, just solid color glove, if that's the look that you want to go for. But yeah, just keep in mind, Nike is definitely going to have the most options for you when it comes to gloves, and I think with cleats as
Nike's
well,
the
not
best
as much with cleats
sports
as
apparel
with gloves, but they're probably going to have a little bit more options there as well, because it's Nike. I mean, it just is what it is. So we're still scrolling through here. It's going to take a bit to get through it because that's just how many they have, but I want to make sure that you see everything that's in the game, because you'll be seeing this video, right before the game comes out. So just kind of let you know what the game is working with, what they have available to you. Some of you may have not played a football game in years since the last, NCAA game. So
yeah, like
this game has way more customization in terms
people
of
people gonna come to the game and be
lost.
So
many more options that are available to you in this game, whereas like back in that game 10 or 11 years ago, I mean,
I'm pretty sure the server's gonna be crazy too, trying to play online.
Now, I mean, you could pretty much make these
players
players
it'll take maybe like half a second just to get someone to play with you head to head.
We're going to continue going through later in the video. There's, we're just kind of halfway there now with the gloves, but there's so much other stuff you can do to really make the players look like themselves, and especially for your created character, if you're in Road to Glory, you can make him look pretty much exactly how you would do in real life if you were playing football. Whatever you would want to wear, the game has most of that stuff. There's still a few more things I'd like to see, like the ski masks, of course, maybe some padded like shooter sleeves. Like there's definitely a few other things that they're probably going to get in the game pretty soon. Hanging mouthpieces, I know that's one that a lot of people like. But in terms of gloves and cleats and kind of the little stuff like that, I mean, they've got a really good variety, and as you can see, it's taken a few minutes just to get through the Nike ones, and now
you didn't have to go through all the gloves, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Moving on to the Jordan gloves. So as you can see, if you look at the screen here, clearly way less options for Jordan than Nike. Now I'm pretty sure they're gonna put more Jordan gloves in the game than this.
I never really understood why Jordan was even in football.
But they've got the main ones in here that you would want to get. They've got the Super Bad. They've got some of the Vapor Jet ones and stuff like that. So I personally really like the Jordan gloves and cleats myself more than Nike. I'm more of a Jordan guy when it comes to the on-field accessories than anything else. I like the way the Jordans look, especially the cleats, which you'll see in a minute. But here are the gloves that you can equip on your Jordan team athletes in College Football 25. Moving on to Adidas, and I'll be honest, I actually like Adidas a lot too. I like their gloves a lot. They have some really, really good gloves.
Lamar might be in there if I add a roster, because I think Lamar is supposed to be in his 8th year tomorrow. Not tomorrow, this season.
Scroll across it, and again, keep in mind you can.
Lamar might be in his 8th year this season. Let me actually look.
Well, but yeah, Adidas has some pretty cool designs on their gloves. I think the Addy Zero. That's the ones that I like. I had some of those in real life even, and they're actually pretty cool looking. They have better designs in my opinion on their gloves, so you have them in game and you can equip them. And lastly, for the gloves here, we have Under Armour. Again, notice
Lamar will only be on the 7th year.
It's a fraction of what Nike has, but Under Armour actually, now that I'm looking at it here in the replay, they got some pretty cool designs on their gloves as well, to be honest with you. So whatever team you want to play for, I think you're gonna have a pretty good amount of options to choose from to make your guy look pretty good. All these companies are kind of doing really good nowadays with making cool designs and making stuff that, has a lot of style and kind of personality to it. So, I mean, as you can see here, scrolling through, got the plain gloves as well. Just reiterating, no matter what team you play for, if you want to go with Notre Dame and go all gold or all white gloves, you can do that too. You have pretty much everything at your disposal that you could want to make your player the way you want to make them. So we're just going to finish scrolling through here, the last few pairs of gloves, and now we're going to move on to the jersey style. So you can do the tight sleeves, of course. You can do the long sleeves.
Oh, you can pull up your jersey now.
The loose sleeves.
I know Ray Lewis pulled up his
now, and you can do the rolled up jersey if you want to show off the abs.
But then again,
now, of course, we're going
to they don't have a loose jersey.
Like, I think the back plates look really good.
It has to be tight and then pulled up.
The exposed back plate if you do the rolled up jersey, which is cool. Here are the neck roll options you've got. You've got the regular neck roll, the butterfly
Ray Lewis
neck
had
roll.
That too.
Here, you know, sometimes the big guys like to wear these. You have the vintage neck roll, of course, kind of like that Eric Dickerson one, and then you've got the single vintage neck roll as well. So you've got those options. You can also adjust your pad height, small, medium, large, extra large. Most people tend to rock the small pads nowadays, so you can do that. You've also got the
t-shirt, I mean, it's more flexible,
relaxed, like untucked shirt coming out from under the jersey. You can even rock that with the jersey rolled up, which is a pretty cool look. And you have the hoodie. Now, the hoodie in the game is sleeveless. I know we saw in some of the videos that they had the one sleeve hoodie, but they're actually sleeveless in the game, which looks a lot better.
I mean, well, obviously in the game, you're not really allowed to have your jersey up like that.
You can do the single sleeve like this with the same color as the hoodie, or you can do two baggy sleeves. So if you want to have the sleeve look with the hoodie, you can equip that separately.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's different now, bro. Like,
so we have the base
college
layer.
allows you to wear
keep
anything
the legs
now.
Exposed if you want, or you can do the base layer socks, which is pretty much like the tights or the leg sleeve. Some people really like that look, so you can rock it like that. Then you're going to move on here. You can see you can do the pants above the knee or below the knee. Most people wear them above the knee now, so it's cool that we got that detail in this game. Moving on to the towel here, you can place this wherever you want. The back, the side, the front, pretty much any place you want to put it, you can do that. Then we're going to move on here to the hand warmer. So you can put the hand warmer in the front if you want. You can put it in the back. Up to you how you want to rock it. It's your look. Do what you want to do with it. Then we have the thigh pads. So you can go no pads if you want to be that guy. You could do regular thigh pads.
If you want to be that guy.
Or you could do the honeycomb thigh pad. So kind of, again, whatever look you want to go for, you can do it. Moving on to the knee pads here. You can do no knee pads. You can do regular knee pads, or you can do the large knee pads as well. You can also do knee braces, which is something new EA brought to this game. You can do a single leg knee brace. You can put them on both legs, however you want to rock it. Moving on to the cleats now. This is my favorite part. So we got the Nike Dunk cleats. We've got the Carbon Elite cleat. We've got the Vapor Elite 360. I mean, they've got, you know, a pretty good selection of cleats here. I think they're definitely going to be adding more. You've got the Field General. You got the Alpha.
I like Field General, like the best.
I'm a big fan of the Dunk cleat myself. I really like that one. I think it's just kind of a clean look. The Panda Dunk cleat, you know, I mean, it's a popular shoe, so it looks good in cleat form. And, you know, we're just scrolling through here, just showing you the different options that they have. Got the Untouchable Pro Mid, the regular Untouchable Pro. I mean, if it's Nike, it's probably going to look pretty good. You've got the Nike Force Savage. Those are pretty cool looking as well. I love the Nike Vapor Edge, too. That's another one of my
I like those,
cleats.
too.
I think they're a really clean look. You've got the Vapor Untouchable. You got the Nike Alpha Menace Pro 3. You also can wear this generic cleat, which is... you'll never catch me wearing generic cleats. I'm just going to put that out there. But if you want to be a generic guy, you can be a generic guy.
I think Brady has those.
You've got all the Vapor cleats as well in the game. You know, the Untouchable... You know, all different variations, you know, of the same kind of line here. The Vapor Speed 3, these look kind of crazy. You've got the Nike Zoom Code Elite.
Vapor Speed don't look that bad.
The Nike Alpha Menace Elite 3 as well. Now, in Road to Glory, they also have the Deion Sanders cleats as well. Now, they're listed as a Jordan Mid 7, which is just a bug that's going to be fixed.
Those are Deion cleats?
Like I said, I'm on
he had those?
the game. And this will be able to be equipped for regular players as well. But for right now, for some reason, it's only in Road to Glory. But they do have the Deion Sanders cleats in the game, which I think is awesome. Moving on to the Adidas cleats. They also have a few that I think are really good. I'm a big fan of the Addy Zero line myself. I even own a pair.
Electric or new?
But they have the Addy Zero, different versions of that in the game. They got the different versions of the Adidas Freak cleat as well. Mids, you know, highs, lows, all that good stuff. This is my favorite one right here, just the plain Addy Zero.
Yeah, Addy Zero, those are tough.
Cleats in the game and in real life. If I was playing for an Adidas team, that's the one that I would put on my guy personally. But you've got other options here. Like I said, it's your game. You know, do what you want. If you're going to play for an Adidas team in your Road to Glory, or you want to switch it up on your regular teams, these are the options you have available for you for the Adidas lines here. So there you have it. Now, these are my favorite, the Jordan cleats. Now, they got a pretty good amount. You've got the low 7s. You've got the low 5s.
Yeah,
I'm not really a big fan of the 5s. I like the 7s. I love the 1s here. You got the 1 mids, of course. That one is always going to look good on anybody. You've got the Jordan 5 mid. You're going to have the Jordan 10
Well,
mid,
those
this
aren't
is
bad.
another really good looking one in my opinion. We're not doing generic. We're skipping past that. You've got the Jordan 1 low, which also looks pretty solid. You're going to have the Jordan 7 mid. That one looks really good. It's a really colorful one. Stands out. And the Jordan 11 low, one of the best looking cleats in the game. And lastly, we've got the Under Armour cleats. They've definitely got the least amount in the game. Maybe we get some more added, but they don't really have a lot to choose from. And I'm not a big fan of the Under Armour cleats myself. That's just me. But if you're an Under Armour guy and like to run with Under Armour teams, these are what you have available to you. Now, of course, we got different sock options. You've got the low socks. You've got the mid socks here with the logos on them of the teams that they play for. These are the best looking ones. They finally got scrunch socks. This is something new for EA. You got the high scrunched up socks. So I know people like that. And then if you're just a complete menace, you can go with the no sock look. And then lastly here we have the spats. You can do the regular spats, or you even have like a more bulkier option if you want to like really tape it up. You can do this in white, black, and the different team colors as well. Now that you know about all of the equipment, make sure to check out this video on the screen where I show every team.
Nice, man. Hey man, I'm really thinking about doing it. Comment below if I really should download, if I should really get college football and really do this roster. Now that I'm looking at it, it may not be as hard as I think it would be, but it probably would take around the same amount of time as it would in the Madden roster. Make sure you comment and subscribe down below. It's your boy blkfinesse. We out.